Hi, everybody. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmina from Jasmina Browswick Astrology. I'm a modern astrologer. I have a lot of Gemini placements, so I have a lot of tools in my pocket. If you don't know me by now, welcome. I'm happy to be here. I love astrology. I love practicing, talking, connecting, helping people, guiding people with this amazing tool. Today, I came in to talk about the upcoming full moon in Cancer that is going to happen tonight around 5:26 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to go through the chart of the full moon and give some tips and tricks for all 12 rising signs. So this full moon is at 24 degrees Cancer. So for everybody who have any placements in their natal chart between 21 and 27 degrees of cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancers, Libra, and Capricorns, they're going to be more personally affected by this full moon. Of course, if you don't know how your chart looks like, let me know. Oh, hi, Misbehaving. You're here again. Thank you for joining. I started a little bit earlier because something came up and I had to start earlier than I anticipated, but thank you so much for joining. And for all of you who are listening later, if you have any comments, please let me know in the comments below. I reply to everything. So full moons in general are about releasing energy. It's about culmination of things. It's about bringing things to fruition. This is every lunar cycle has the rhythms, right? So we have this 1 month rhythms, 28 days when we have new and full moons, but we have a larger lunar family cycles. And this full moon is related to the new moon that happened on the 17th of July, 2023. So like 18 months ago. So think about what happened in your life around that time. The topics might come again now for this full moon. Like so everything, the seeds you or intentions that you planted back in July 2023, things might come to fruition. So have that a note. I put it in the description below. The first quarter was on the 15th of April 2024, and the last third quarter is going to be on October 13, 2025, and that's the cycle will be completed. Before I start talking about the chart, I want to mention what is Cancer energy in general. What is this full moon in general? So we have the moon and the sun are opposite each other. So there is always some kind of a tension, or we need to find a releasing point or a middle ground, how to resolve this energy between our needs, moon, and our wants, sun. So our sun wants a career, a work. It's Capricorn, obligation, doing things, making sure that we are responsible. But the moon is in Cancer. The moon wants to be at home, cozy, wants to feel things, right? So there is this. But when we have Cancer Capricorn axis activated, it's all about finding the work and home balance. And with the full moon, it's inviting us to let go of the things that are no longer serving us, to have this balance. So are we spending enough time and energy and dedication to our families? This is all about the when moon is in Cancer. Are we really there for those who love us and support us? Are we there to love and support them as well? Or are we just working mode all the time? Cancer energy is also about where we're coming from, our roots, our ancestry, history. It's a very nostalgic sign, and Cancer is very emotional. So, but the problem is that sometimes it doesn't express their emotions. So they have suppressed emotions. And it can burst. So imagine like a pressure cooker, building and not resolving emotional issues, and then just explodes. So that can be a Cancerian energy if not if not channeled properly. The buildup of emotional things can be high. I had a live with Rod on Instagram, so please go check it out as well. We talked about this full moon as well. Okay, so let me share my screen and I will show you the chart. Okay. Excellent. Okay, so this is the chart. Disregard the house system, the houses. I just put it for Aries 0 point, like a world point. So disregard the placements of the planets. Let's just focus on what is happening. So you can see the moon is here. Very close to Mars, and Mars is retrograde. So there is very a feeling of repressed emotions of because Mars is retrograde, not being able to deal with them, to process them in a manner that we want to. So there could be a lot of either suppressed emotions at this point, or just feeling frustrated from the inside, not appreciated, not loved enough. And we can go towards the passive aggressiveness, in a sense, I did this for you and this is the way you thank me, kind of a feeling. So that is not healthy. So we kind of need to look at, I call it emotional blackmails. So we kind of need to let go of that. And Cancer can build up that energy inside. So because the moon is so close to Mars, we have this need to deal with our emotions. But because Mars is retrograde, it can be very hard. And I made some notes here about, how the Cancer energy, if it's not properly channeled, how it can, go on the other way around. So think about Cancer energy is also about nurturing and food and protecting our family. So Mars in Cancer can be very moody, grumpy. It can get frustrated. So it builds up the energy and then explodes and takes all of the people around them with them. It's about. It can be very defensive as well. So this is the kind of the type of energy that Mars in Cancer uses, defensiveness. And I'm talking about Mars in Cancer because it's very connected with this moon, with our needs, what we need at this moment, and how are we dealing with our anger, or just emotional issues. If we're feeling angry, are we dealing with it? Cancer is very connected medically with digestive system as well, and food. So if we are not dealing with our emotions, we can go and have like a outburst of emotional eating as well, and it can affect our digestive systems. If you don't express emotions, so this is an invitation for all of us to express our emotions, to say if we are not happy with something, and it can be hard because you don't want to hurt other people. Cancer, they don't want to hurt, they want to, hurt you and help. But then if you don't express it, it can really, it can be also affect our own health and body and our own digestion. I would use this energy for example, because it's very nostalgic full moon. It's very about going in the past. Cook your favorite meal from your childhood. Connect to your childhood and those beautiful, nice memories that you have. Also, if there's a necessity to deal with some of the things that you were repressing from when you were a kid, it's time to kind of let them go and tell and express them. This moon also has a beautiful, lovely trine to Neptune. So Mars and Neptune trine was exact yesterday. And I mentioned in one of my tips that it's a beautiful energy for dancing, for moving your body in a flow motion, like singing, dancing, and just maybe connected with the nostalgic movie or a song, and dealing with maybe that can help you express how you feel, or you can maybe tell somebody through song or through a movie. Maybe want to express what you're feeling as well. This lovely trine to Neptune is also inviting us to tune in with our inner feelings, with our gut, with our intuition, and let that lead us this time. We need to kind of put mind besides and tune in with our gut feelings, with what are our gut feeling telling us. Oh, what is misbehaving saying? Let's see. Oops. She says, today I had a strange coincidence and heard that a childhood friend has died. Oh, my condolences. Yes, releasing emotions. See, this is things from the past can come up during this full moon, because it's culmination, and it's connected to our childhood and things from the past. Yes, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it can bring a lot of memories as well. Mercury is in Capricorn and Sun, so they, on the other side, there is this need to be logical, practical, rational. But then if you dismiss the inner world, it will backfire at some time. So use your intuition, use your gut feeling. And it's interesting, for my daily tip, I pulled the Mercury card, express. So there's definitely a need to express what we feel today. I think we might surprise ourselves on how much feeling, how much it might surprise us that we might feel very safe in the environment when we express that, because sometimes Cancer energy, they don't want to talk about their feelings, because the environment they're around, it's not safe. If they don't feel like it, if they're not in the mood, that's why we call them very moody, because the mood needs to be right, the environment needs to be right. They need to feel safe. So find a person who you feel safe with to talk about these things. It's very important that, if you can't find somebody, there's always some support lines, or because this full moon can be very, very emotional. I also suggested on my Instagram page, if you want to cry. Do not suppress tears now. It's very important to let everything go. Neptune in Pisces, go with the flow with the go, letting things go. There's a Venus-Jupiter square also coming up. So there's going to be a need for more sugar and more sugar intake. So if we don't feel like, if we don't express emotions with this square, we can also really, really go for that food and eat too much and indulge too much in that food. Yes, take some pleasure and desires you needed, but then you must need to find the balance at this point, because it can really affect your health and your body. As well, we still have this Mars-Pluto opposition. It's separating. It's not that strong, but we can still feel the tension that we just want to punch somebody in the face. So that's why it's even more important to deal with how you feel. The nodes. The North Node shifted into Pisces on Saturday, so there's a trine with a node. So there's like a path we need to go. We need to follow this path of going with the flow, using a intuition, and feel the feels. It's not time to stop feeling them. It's time to feel the feels and move forward. In a couple of days, Saturn and Venus are going to be conjunct exactly. So that's going to be hard anyway. So if we don't do this properly in the next couple of days, it's going to hit us, and it's going to be hard. It's going to, you're going to feel even less loved, less supported, less compassionate and kind to ourselves. So overall, this full moon, the sun is sextiling Uranus, for example. So there's this urge to break free from old patterns, from the conditioning. So there is lots of support for us to deal with suppressed emotions today, okay, and express how we feel. Even if it opens up a Pandora's box and there's going to be unpleasant conversations that we need to do, I think they're necessary, because it's going to backfire on your health. This is my take on this moon. I want to introduce quickly. I want to introduce quickly trans-Neptunians from Uranian astrology and see what is. So this is the Uranian dial, and let's see what is on this axis. What is happening for this full moon in Uranian dial? Definitely, we have. Aries point, we have the nodes here and Neptune on this axis. So as I mentioned, this, if we want to go forward with our life paths, with what we're supposed to do, with our purpose, there's a strong connection to use Neptune. It could be let it, like a cry, let it go. You need to kind of, you can move forward without dealing with the past. That's kind of feeling what I say. It's what I feel. We can don't let the chains of past hold us down. Okay. Okay, misbehaving. What are you saying? A big schedule of things I wanted to do today, but instead I'm really feeling the emotions. That's very good, because it's going to haunt you backwards, right? We also have, I think, 045. There is Ceres is really nearby. So again, extra a need to nurture ourselves, to make sure that we are good to ourselves. Again, emphasizing digestive system. Ceres is about food intolerances as well, and grains. A lot of things happening. Which one is this one? I think this is Aries. So there is Aries and Hygeia very nearby. Hygeia is about health. I feel that if we don't, if we don't deal with our emotional world and ourselves, it can backfire on our health. That's what I find a connection even when I'm looking at the dial. Nothing else is special happening on the dial but this. So for this full moon, so there is a connection between our health and how we deal with our emotions if we don't attend to them. Okay, so that's what I feel. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing at this point, and let me pull up a wheel. Okay, let me pull up a wheel. I hope. No, I can't do it. I have to do it the other way around. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I hope you see this. Okay, perfect. So this is my wheel what I use for talking about this for all 12 signs. If you have any comments, I'm really sorry misbehaving. This is happening to you. Really, really. Not an easy thing. Okay. So the full moon, the sun is in Capricorn, the moon is in Cancer, and I'm just gonna pull the chart ruler. So the chart ruler for Aries is Mars, and Mars is with the moon. So everything I've mentioned before is really, really connected for you, Aries risings. It can bring a lot of things from the past. It can bring a lot of impatience and not having kindness and compassion for your family or family members, bringing a lot of home situation. Actually, if you want to use this energy for redecorating or remodeling your home, it will be the best way to use this energy. It can bring a lot of emotions you don't want to deal with. What are you saying? Chiron return is being triggered. Chiron is at the moment is at, I think, 20-19 degrees of Aries. So Chiron is kind of squaring this, not tight. For Chiron, I would use less degree. So I wouldn't say it's being triggered very much. There's a 5-degree orb, but for Chiron, I would use a tighter orb. It's not close enough for me to use this. So I wouldn't. I would use Mars because Mars is very important, and it's very important for Aries risings to find work, family balance, pressures from home coming, maybe because you're working too much or you have too many obligations in your career, or you're doing too much, and then pressures, and then you feel, if you don't deal with these emotions, if you don't speak up about how you're feeling, and if you don't, like, I think you're gonna feel that you don't have a support from your family. They don't have the understanding of your career and what you're doing. Um, um, Aries rises, you can be very impatient. You can be very, you want everything and now. Mars retrograde, because for every time the Mars is retrograde, every 2 years, for you it's very hard, because you don't have the speed that you want, because you are very fast. Your Mars is driving you, and Mars is in retrograde, so Mars is telling you to slow down. Mars is going into reverse. It's going into reverse, so you can't go as fast as you would like going forward. So dealing with this stuff, there won't be a result overnight. It may take some more time, but hopefully you would find a way to deal with them in a healthy way. Spend some time with your family. Try to find some activities that you guys can do together. Reminisce about old times. Find something positive and nostalgic that will maybe possess you here. And instead of, because you can be very angry, instead of breaking the plates from anger at home, if we don't want to punch anybody in the face, try to use this energy, to cook, or, as I said, remodel, redecorate something in your home, as a maybe a longer project or something. Put intentions to this, and release all the tensions that you feel that you have with balancing work and home. This can be really, really stressful for you, 100%. Okay. Taurus. So Venus, I'm going to just put the ruler of each rising sign, so we know what are we dealing with. How is this ruler supporting you? So the ruler of the sign is Venus for you. So there's this balance between how you communicate. There might probably be some issues with communications, or the way you might be emotionally driven in expressing yourself. So you might be triggered by some emotions, and maybe having outbursts, because Mars is still here. Maybe I should put it, because it's very important. Having angry outbursts in the way you converse with others, the way you communicate with others. Wanting to, because probably the sun is here, and it's trining Uranus from your first house. So there is a huge need to break free from the old belief system, to find your own, to explore the world, to go beyond your local community. So think about, there is if you had set intentions to actually pursue something that is beyond your local environment, this can be a good option to release this maybe anger that you have. There might be some fights with your siblings or neighbors. So have that in mind, or extended family, or cousins and aunts and uncles. So think what is happening there. That can be affected as well. The support is coming from Venus. Venus is in Pisces. Venus loves being in Pisces. So there's a huge support coming from your groups, your communities, your friendships. So this is where you can find, if you have any issues, find a friend you can talk to. I think for you especially, it's going to be important to find somebody who is the same minded as you, to talk about about everything that is happening. Use your gut, use your intuition, to feel the feels, and lean on your friendships for this full moon. I think that you might also feel misunderstood, or like not heard, like being angry in a way, like, I didn't say that, you're not listening to me. People, like, you're saying something but people are not hearing you. um, um, as I said, probably in your in your local environment, but maybe then you can find a friend you can talk to and about your feelings, and somebody you feel who can show you compassion and kindness. I would suggest that for Taurus risings. Okay. Gemini risings. Okay. And Mercury is currently in Capricorn, ruling you for this with the sun. This is a money axis. This is all about money and income, and being frustrated for not earning enough, for not having enough. Um, this could also be about emotional spendings, just because you feel maybe depressed or something, and then you go and spend some money. Mars is in retrograde here with this full moon, is also maybe restricting you from some income, or there will be some expenses you didn't know they're coming. So maybe there are extra expenses as well that you need to that you kind of had, because Mercury and Sun are in the 8th house, and there is some psychological strength coming out from all of this. If you express what you feel, if you express what are your values, maybe maybe going to have fight with some people about your value system. But then Mercury is in Capricorn. It's practical. Maybe you want some practical solutions or resolutions. With the Sun and Mercury in the 8th house, this also can tell me that you might need to revise what other money you have with your partner's money, or your investments, or what is happening in that sector as well, and align that with your values. I think your values and emotions are going to be very close one to another at this point. Feeling that you are not, that your skills and talents are not bringing you enough of material security as well. Because Mercury is practical at this point, you will might want to dismiss emotions even more, because you are more of a logical sign. Try to take deep breaths and listen to your body and listen to your inner gut. What is it telling you? This is not time to expand your income. It's time to revise how are you getting income now, and what needs to be done for the future. And you may get help from your partner, from your partner's finances as well, at this point. Time to slow down, because Mars is making you to slow down. Don't act emotionally, don't spend emotionally, and just try to take a deep breath and find a practical way to use this energy until Mars goes direct. Okay, and that's going to be on February 23rd. Okay, just don't spend too much money. Maybe Mercury will help you because it's in Capricorn. It will really, really help you. So I hope that's correct. Okay, so Cancer rises. This is your new moon. This is all about you. And because moon is your ruler and it's in Cancer, it's at home. So this is kind of once in a year opportunity to start something new, to start something fresh, to turn the new page. And this is always, because it's new moon, it's affecting you and your relationship with others, your partners, your business partners, your romantic partnerships, your clients. If you have any situation, this is also about courts, like some legal disputes, they might come to surface. You might, some of this might be a result as well. I think with Mars being so close to the moon retrograde, the feeling the frustration. I think you're going to be the most passive aggressive, the most frustrated, not being, don't keep your emotion bottled up. You will kind of feel that you're on your own, that you have nobody kind of to lean on, and everybody's disappointed you, nobody's appreciating you. Um, but remember, Neptune and North Node in Pisces are inviting you to lean into your spirituality. They're coming from the ninth house, um, uh, to find strength in your beliefs, in your philosophies, um, and not to surrender to that, to divinity, whatever that is for you, and not to to people, because you can, if you let go, if you surrender, and just let it go, let it go. I think you need to cry if you feel like you want to cry. I think this Mars Moon together in the first house is about your physical body. So make sure that you don't emotionally eat, especially the next couple of days. It can affect your, as I mentioned before, your health and digestive system as well. Um, uh, my suggestion is just to cry and not to hold your emotions in. Don't bottle them up. It's just going to backfire at you sooner or later. Don't expect from your partners at this point anything. Lean on, in your beliefs, in yourself, in your intuition. Don't have that expectation from others. This is very important period of year for you, Cancer risings. It is although it's a full moon, it has some lovely aspects: Sun and Uranus, Moon and Neptune. So lean on that. Lean on your spiritual side, on higher consciousness or higher powers or whatever your belief system is. Okay, and don't have any expectation from others. You're gonna be just frustrated. I hope you have a great full moon, Cancers. Leo rising. Okay. So, because Sun is your ruler and it's in the sixth house, so and this is a health axis. It's all about your mental stability. It's about your health. It's about your routines. There can be some hidden situations that you are not aware of, hidden emotions, um, because you're very proud, and it's good. I think Leo risings are proud for a reason. Your confidence shows. You are true leaders, and with the full moon in Cancer, because the moon is in your 12th house, it's in a hidden place, I would suggest you spend more time, because you need others. You need to be on stage, and you need kind of appreciation from others to thrive. So instead of constantly looking for that appreciation from outside world, because Neptune is trining this moon, maybe it's time to find that you start appreciating yourself, to start validating yourself, to start respecting yourself. There might be some bottled up, definitely some emotions that you don't want to deal with regarding that, or not facing how you really feel. But you need to deal with that kind of this time, and just spend some time in not in loneliness, in long, anyway, being alone. Spend some time being alone. Try to meditate. Try to find a way. I would also suggest crying. I would suggest crying for everybody for this full moon, because the Mars can really trigger us. We can, when you have anger, emotional outbursts can really hurt us more than others at the end, because then we're going to have to say sorry, and then we have to, we're going to feel sorry afterwards. So this can also happen to you, and it can affect your health. Sun is in sixth house, so make sure that your daily habits and routines are in order, that they're not connected with validation for outside world. And there's the 12th house is also a spiritual house. It's a Piscean house, and because Neptune and North Node are trining from the 8th house, there's a psychological transformation and death can occur if you deal with the things that you don't want to deal with. So everything that you were suppressing so far, if you want to deal with them now, from your past. It can help you, it can transform you, it can bring you some peace. And yeah, so meditation would be number one for Leo risings for me. Virgos. Okay, so you are ruled by Mercury with the sun from the 5th house. You know, the 11th house is not just about friendships and groups and communities. It's also about our wishes and hopes for the future. It's about helping helping the community to evolve, to thrive, and it is about friendships. It's about those connections, you know, to peer groups. It's those people who are your tribe, who understand you the better. So if you are not expressing your emotions, if you have some resentment towards those people, you need to tell them. You need to find a healthy way of expressing. If you're not happy within your friendships, if you're not happy with your groups, if you feel that you are not getting what you deserve. Mercury is in the 5th house, very practical. So your approach to fun and to joy, it's going to be very practical with this moon. So you might find some practical solutions. You know, for Mercury in Capricorn, chair is a chair. It's not a purple chair. It's not a fancy chair. It's just a chair. So understanding that what are your expectations from your friends on an emotional level? What kind of support do you need? Are you getting that kind of support? Make it practical this time, okay? If you're involved in any creative projects, then maybe that you are doing, maybe they need to be put aside. Maybe some of your friends need you at this point. Okay, you might be frustrated because you're not able to help them, or maybe you got the frustration. Oh, hi Tracy. Hello. Thanks for joining. Yeah, so there's some other, maybe some people need you at this point, and maybe you need to remove your analytical, logical head off and just tune in and in your feelings and what your heart tells you, right? Don't forget, Neptune is trining this, so we are all invited to get more in tune with our intuition, our gut feeling, and how to resolve emotional issues by leaning on surrendering to higher power as well, not just thinking that we can do it all, especially Virgo risings. You always feel that you can do it all. Maybe support from divinity can help you this time to deal with these things. And, you know, you're not being a good friend if you suppress and don't tell your friends how you really feel. So think about that as well. That's going to be a topic. Okay, be honest. Okay. Libra risings. As I mentioned, cardinal signs are going to be the most affected. So where's Venus is in Pisces here. Okay. So there is a lot of frustrating situation coming from your career, your bosses, your managers, your workplace. There is a support. Venus is in the 6th house, so there's a support for maybe employees, people who you work with that are on the same level as you, but whoever authority is, there might be some clashes. If you're not happy at your workplace, if you feel that that you are not getting what you deserve, you need to express it. If you don't tell really how you feel, if you feel that you're not validated, that you are not seen, you need to say, because you're going to explode later. You're really going to explode later. It is about home and work, finding home and work balance, but you will never find a balance unless you tell what's on your mind. And I know for Libra risings, it's very hard. And now Venus is in Pisces at this moment. So not only that you always want to be kind and gentle to others and have peace and harmony, this is now even more emphasized. You want to show kindness and empathy even more than usual if Venus were in some other sign. So You might just want to avoid all the conflicts, suppress what you're feeling, and avoid conflict just because you want to escape in some way from all the hard conversations that you need to do. But then don't forget that if you don't express it, you might have really problems. Neptune is also here. It is trining the moon, so that's good. But it's in the sixth house, and you can get sick, get a virus or something because Neptune is in the sixth house. Yes, Venus is there helping you, but find a healthy way to deal with authority. Okay, if you need, listen to your gut, listen to your intuition. What is it telling you? How are you going to deal with this? There must be a way, right? The worst way is not to say anything if you're not feeling good, because it will backfire. Like there's, Mars in retrograde also gives us opportunity to go retrospectively back and think about which workplaces did you work before? How did that work for you? Why did you leave them? Why are you still here, not leaving this place if you're not happy? What is your ideal place that you would like to work in? Neptune is there, so there's a trining this moon, so there's a way to idolizing these things, right? So go historically, look how your career is going. Where do you want to go? North Node is also with Neptune trining this moon, so there's like a new path that you might need to go through. What does it look like for you? A lot of things in reflection. And as I mentioned, if you want to cry, rather cry than break things, right? Because this could be a feeling of really punching somebody in the face just because if you feel frustrated and not able to do and to express what we feel. Good luck, Libras. Scorpio rising. Okay. So Scorpio is also ruled by Mars traditionally and Pluto. So I'm going to put Pluto in. Where's my Pluto? Here in Aquarius. Okay. Scorpios. This is about you not being. So what do you want to achieve in your higher education, for example, in your studies, in your travel desires? Mars in Cancer until end of the February probably will, if you're planning to travel, will make some delays in your plans, or things are not going to go as you wish, kind of like a Mercury retrograde feeling. But then you might feel very depressed. You might feel, that you're not doing what you want. Also think about this is your belief system as well. Are you connected with your beliefs? Are you emotionally happy with what you believe in? There is some kind of a need, because the Neptune is trining, so there is I think an emotional need to connect again, to find this deeper connection with your beliefs, with your divinity, and what you believe in. Pluto as a core ruler is in your fourth house, so there is again support coming from your family in one way or another that can help you, or maybe there's a thing that you need to transform from your family belief system, that you need to change. What is conditioned out there? What are the memories of your childhood? Maybe some traumas you need to face to move forward. This is a mental axis. You might think things through more than you feel them. So there is, unlike you, because you're always very deep, the way you feel, and your emotions go really beyond the surface, and you can really go deep down. But maybe this time you need to maybe rational, like you maybe need to rationalize your emotions, opposite of other suggestions that I gave, just because sometimes you feel too much that you're not even logical or rational. So maybe this is a invitation for you to kind of think about what you're feeling, and is it good or not. Yeah, especially this is also an invitation because for connection with higher power. Maybe just doing some esoteric studies as well. because the third house is about learning new things, being curious. Sun is there, so Mercury is there as well. So there is some kind of need for that as well, right? Lots of things happening here that, I think this Cancer full moon is giving us all an invitation to deal with some emotional stuff that we are not dealing with. Either we are feeling too much or not feeling enough, or are we too shallow, are we too deep? Whatever that is, we kind of need to deal with them now, whatever they are. I think if we suppress how we really truly feel, I would suggest just talking to yourself in the mirror for the beginning. Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, how do I feel? Why do I feel like this? What do I need to do? To release. Do I feel angry? Do I feel happy? Do I feel whatever the feeling is? Accepting what you're feeling and trying to find a way to express what you feel to the people who you need to, or even just to yourself. Talking to yourself can be very healing. As a true Gemini, I can tell you. Anyway, so I hope this helps. Okay, Sagittarians. So let's see. So Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Gemini. Okay, Sag risings. This can be very, very traumatic for you, just because the moon is in the 8th house of traumas and crises. So you might. It's also about family history there in the 8th house. You might feel that you have to deal with some family traumas or crises. And you don't really want to go there. It's dark, it's deep, it's not pleasant, it's facing your shadow side. Definitely, I feel this is full moon is about maybe putting lights on some family secrets or your secrets or some taboo topics you don't really want to deal with. But I feel that you need because the Mars retrograde in the 8th house can be very good for research, because it goes back and you can go back and research about your family, research about your ancestry, and deal with those things. You might not resolve them right now, but like just acknowledging what is happening, acknowledging what you're feeling, and doing some research, going even maybe asking for some help through therapy or esoteric or any kind of astrology or Reiki or whatever, numerologist, whoever you feel drawn to that can help you. Find a person you can talk to about these things and who can guide you how to get out of this. It's going to help you a lot. Jupiter is in the 7th house. It's not connected at all to this moon. And it's still retrograde, so there is some issues also with your partners. 8th house is a house of your partner's money as well. So there may be some issues coming, some restrictions. Maybe your partner is not getting enough money, or your clients. The 7th house is also clients. Maybe there's some you did some work and you can't get money for your work, or things like that can really frustrate you. Maybe you need to, how do you emotionally feel with your clients, for example? Do you tell them what's the problem, or are you just, putting everything under the carpet? Because, with this passive aggressive energy, it can be like, oh, I did so much for them and they didn't pay me, or they didn't appreciate what I was doing for them. Anyway, all kind of partnerships that can be emphasized. And there's going to be a Venus Jupiter square, so there will be maybe a feeling that you really want to overindulge, or there's going to be overly something happening with your at home and partnerships as well. So because Venus from the 4th house can bring home partnership issues as well. It finding the balance as well between what you value in yourselves and what you value in others. Is your value system connected with your emotions, with your past? Are you chained to your past and you cannot move forwards because of the just inherited value systems? Oh, misbehaving. Let's see what she says. This also works with Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, putting things into context. Absolutely. Yes, you can definitely, because you have Sag, Sun, and Moon in the first house. So that's it. That's yes. It can be for you because this is the Sagittarius and Cancer really don't have anything in common. It can be very frustrating for Sag, for everybody who has Sag, Moon, and Sun, because the energy of this full moon, it needs a lot of adjustment. It can be very irritating. So just putting that into context there. Okay, so I hope this helps. Sag risings. Okay, Capricorns. So Capricorns. Oh, another cardinal. Saturn in Pisces here. Okay, Saturn. So Capricorns, this is, again, it's very, for all the cardinal signs, it's going to be more seen, more are there. It's going to be some kind of events or happenings are going to come from the outside world, not just within. So this full moon is in your seventh house. I think a lot of frustration will come from your partners. Not dealing, like, because, you know, as a Capricorn rising, you're probably very practical. You have your structure, the way you do things. You feel safe and secure within your structures, but then they might not align with your partners. So if you don't convey your emotional, how you feel to your partners, it really can backfire this time to you, right? Your partner might be going, because Mars is there retrograde, your partner might be going through some kind of issues that they cannot express how they feel, or they might feel not understood, and you are not, you need to kind of support them. You really need to show your support. And because Saturn is your ruler coming from the third house, don't be afraid to say it, because you can feel that you are, nobody understands you, that you don't feel appreciated. Conversation is very important this time for your Capricorn rising, to talk to your partners and to deal with these energies in a healthy way, without blame games, without any expectations, without expecting your partner to follow your rules. Those are your rules, not their rules. And make sure that that you don't suppress your emotions as well, and to kind of acknowledge that your partner has emotions, okay, and try to help them and be support for them. Yes, so that's what it is. So for Sagittarius, don't really understand the Cancer energy, right? Because it's in conjunct. It's called in conjunct Queen Cox energy, because you have nothing in common. You're not the same element. It's fire and water. You're not the same modality, cardinal and mutable, and the polarity, female and male. So it's like nothing in common. So there's a lot of adjustments to understand the Cancer energy. Yeah, that's true. So Capricorns, this will affect your business and personal relationships and your clients. So there will be some people that, so your partners, your clients, your whoever, your everybody, like one-on-one relationship, they really need your support now. They really need, you need to be there for them. Okay, so and it can be frustrating for you because you just want to work and do your things, and Saturn from the third house is also, you need to put some hard work into communication. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Mercury is in the first house, is going to help you convey the message and be a support to your partners. It's very important that you be support from them at this point. Okay. Yeah. Use your, again, Neptune is here, North Node is here now in the third house. Lean your intuitive, lean into your intuition. This is a Gemini house. It is logical. It is about learning and being curious. But then be curious about what is your gut tell you what to do. That would be my suggestion. Aquarius risings. Okay. Oh, Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn traditionally and Uranus. So I'm going to put both of them here. Aquarius risings. What is happening for you? There's a huge need for you to look at your health. This new moon is in the sixth house. What are your, this is suppressed emotions, and anger can really lead to some digestive issues for you the most. Your diet, what are you putting in your body? Are you emotionally eating? Implement some kind of a practice, everyday practice that will help you deal with your emotions, because you also don't really understand this Cancer energy, just like the Sagittarius. It's in conjunct. So Aquarians and Cancers also don't have anything in common. So it's very hard to understand what is this emotion, this moodiness, this need need for emotional support. You're very independent in that way, right? You at least you portray yourself as emotionally independent. Like, I don't need anybody. I can, I don't need anybody's emotional support. Everybody does. It's just you kind of dealing with it maybe in a healthy way. So that's also an invitation. Am I really, maybe you need to lean on and ask somebody to help you, to deal with some of these things, right? You're very in your mind. Saturn coming from the second house, again, it's going to be your value system. How is the sixth and fourth connected? What do you value in your everyday life? What is valuable to do every day? There can be some really health issues. I really want, if you feel any kind of health issues, please go see a doctor. Also, if you have anything, maybe some holistic approach, or work on your prevention, or on just, if you could cry, Aquarius risings, I would really suggest that, just because it's necessary. Uranus is in the fourth house, your ruler, so there is always, implications with your family. There is, how is family life working for you, regarding your mental health, and your physical health? How is your value system impacting your mental health and your physical health? So this is a lot about taking care of yourselves and your bodies, Aquarius. And things might not resolve as fast as you would like, but if you don't, you need to start addressing them. That's what's important at this moment. Okay. And then Pisces. So let's see, Pisces, Jupiter. I'll take. Oops, no. I'm going to put Mars back. I'm going to take Jupiter in Gemini, and I'm going to take Neptune in Pisces here. Okay, both rulers. Pisces. You're the ones who are. Sometimes you feel so much. You can feel other people's feelings. You can feel other people's sufferings. The environment that you are living. Excuse me. The environment is very important for you. Who are you surrounded with? With the new moon, with the full moon in Cancer, and with Mars retrograde here, it's gonna be maybe hard for you to distinguish what are your feelings and what are other people's feelings. That's my point. Sometimes you have this really hard time with understanding, is this what you're feeling, or is this people around you, are there those feelings? So this is also connected with your kids. If you have kids, think about, maybe you're taking on too much of their pain and trying to resolve their issues, or taking on their problems. Is this really helping them? Are you, maybe there's some suppressed frustration coming from that, or just from your creativity or creative projects. This is the fifth house is also about dating and romance. Maybe not committed relationships, but if you're just dating, or you might feel frustrated. You need to express what you feel and try to distinguish. Use this Neptune trine to get in tune, because you are very intuitive, just as is. But sometimes you get lost with, you kind of want to escape from the harshness of everything, and just and it's okay if it's in a healthy way, right? But it can be unhealthy if you just don't deal with other people's situations and escape from them, don't want to deal with them, or yeah, this is invitation for you definitely to actually ask other people, what do you feel? How can I help you? Not just assume, because sometimes Pisces, you feel that you just assume that somebody needs your help, and you do it even without asking. So you have also Jupiter in the fourth house. This might bring some situations from the past, from your family, something that that you didn't deal with. Um, um, it is hard to deal with situations sometimes, but it's important you do. The sun is also in the 11th, so there is this connection with friends as well. But think about this full moon. What is this axis about? Your creative expression, your artistic expression, and how you convey the message with others. How is this represented within your groups and communities? Um, um, what do you feel about it all? What do you feel about it? Are you happy? Are you happy about it? Are you dealing with those situations, or are you putting them aside? Your kid situation, dating situation, friendship situation. Um, I think it's very important for this full moon for that you have to work on this distincting the difference between your emotions and other people's emotions. And it might be frustrated, not understanding which are which, or not getting the situations resolved as you would like. And there might be some things coming up from your family as well. But tune in. Um, Neptune is here in the last degree of Pisces. I don't want you to have an unhealthy escape way of dealing with all these emotions that you can't handle. Find somebody you can talk to, pray, meditate, whatever you need to do, because I don't want you to reach for some substances or anything that it's not healthy for you, because it can be too much. It's trining this. The North Node just came in, so things are going to start happening. Some events that if you're not prepared, they can be overwhelming. So finding the way to deal with this. Probably through artistic expression is going to be good, through music or dance or painting or whatever. But um, um, first of all, you need to know, is this what you're feeling, or is this somebody else? So yeah, not easy, but it can help. There's a lovely flowing energy coming. So yeah, it might be good as well. Okay, I think I marked the hour. I hope, guys, this was helpful. So for this full moon in Cancer, thank you all for joining and for your comments. Misbehaving and Tracy, thank you very much. Have a great moon. There's a Sun Uranus trine, so there is a way we can liberate ourselves from the chains of the past. It's going to be nostalgic. It's going to be emotional, and deal with it. Cry, dance, eat, but don't suppress. That's my number one advice. Don't suppress your feelings. Deal with them one way or another. And I hope you have a great full moon, fulfilling, that you feel emotionally happy? What is emotional intelligence? Dive into your emotional intelligence, or learn about it, or whatever. So excellent. Oh, have a good one. Says misbehaving. You too. Thank you all. I will be hopefully next weekend have another live. I want to do a guide to retrogrades in 2025. So we're going to talk about retrogrades in 2025 and what are the meanings of the retrograde. So for next weekend. So tune in. And yes, of course, if you need any guidance, or I'm available for readings. I hope you have a grateful